said, Jesus, I want to see the face of my Heavenly Father that loves me so much that he'd send you to die. I've seen the love in your eyes. I want to see the love in his. And Jesus said, didn't you read the book? He said, I told you in the book that until you are in the resurrection, that you cannot look upon God, and then you will see him face to face. But his power is such now that it would destroy you. And you're here to see what it's like to be a sinner and not to be destroyed. And then is when this book came out in a hand, out through the mist. I could read right through it, and it said on the title, the back page, this is the Book of Life. And this other finger on another hand that came out began turning the pages with lightning speed, electronic speed. And then the voice said, he's looking for your name. This is the Book of Life. And I tried to put up a defense, but it was foolish. I knew as I was even telling that person that I was one of the best guys he'd ever made, that I, being cast in the role of a sinner, didn't qualify at all for being in that book, because I hadn't believed there was a book. I hadn't believed there was a God.
The name wasn't there.
The name wasn't there. And then he closed it. That closure of that book made a sound that could have been heard from Australia to the North Pole. I never heard anything so deafening. And I knew instantly that meant that it was all over. God wasn't judging me. The book did.
Yes.
The book judged me. They were my acts in there, or my omission of an act of just accepting Jesus. And then this hand came out of the mist and pointed behind me, and I turned to look. And there was the most terrifying sight that can be imagined, and that's all. It was the lake of fire, the thing that's called the second death. It was the size of the known universe of stars, I'd say. I mean, it was just endless. It is so awesome, so terrible, so absolutely, unbelievably horrifying that anybody that would take a chance of spending eternity there would have to be psychoanalyzed, I guess we'd say. He just let me see it for a moment. I knew exactly what it was, and he said, you do not belong to our family. This is my book, my family album. You're not in it. Therefore, you belong to the family of Satan. And he said, depart.
Is there any way to describe your feeling at that moment, knowing your fate was eternally sealed?
Well, I don't suppose there are the words in English to describe the awesome hopelessness. I would say that,
Yes.
for the first time in my life, I knew what total hopelessness is. There isn't even a shard of a chance that there'll be anything good. And with that, I was taken back into Lazarus' tomb, found myself standing, and that was the spirits. But I heard Jesus say that I will not die again, that most of the people to whom I speak by TV or any place will not die, because he's on his way back. He says, I'm just waiting for that moment that the last cell is put into my body.
And that's when he told you, tell them that I am coming.